I was expecting the two on day 23 to be about as hard as the last two. Well, I'll tell you how it went. First, I got the agents to the lower part of their parts of the Central Command Department, so they could get ready for what was to be worked on. As for our latest recruit, that one is on, or rather was on, punishing bird duty. Although I wanted to wait until the express train to hell was almost fully charged, because I wanted to try and get the gift for Camille. I also wanted to work on these two, a doll and a bipedal wolf. I wanted to find out what they were motivated by. Oh, and by the way, it was on this day I first had access to a red shield bullet. Basically, I can use that to give whichever agent I wanted some additional protection against red damage. Yep, protecting the body. And from what I gathered, these bullets reload every quick-off meltdown. I knew it was something I'd had to test at some point. Yeah, and some of these abnormalities, they lower the chance of success every time they get worked on. Now this wolf was called the Big and Mighty Bad Wolf. And as for this doll, she was called a Shy Girl. Well, for now at least. Well, at this point. You know what I mean. Well, if I wanted to learn more, I knew what I had to do. Order my agents to keep working on it. Then I learned a little more about this shy girl. Mostly what was best to work on her with. The same applied to the big and mighty bad wolf. There was a gift and equipment to work on it. But at this point that was not known. And yeah, a gift that only drops 1% of the time. Difficult but non-possible. Yeah, and believe me, I wanted that gift on Camille. Mostly because it made the Pink's rifle more effective. Well, it was a good thing that we had long-range weapons that didn't have collateral damage. And yeah, there was an Indigo Dawn ordeal inbound. And I knew I had to be ready for that one. Especially as there was one more level to focus on. Yeah, learn a little more about this abnormality. Such as not to let another abnormality get near it, or even in the same facility. That was good to know. As for this shy girl, the gift was revealed, but not the equipment. Yeah, it was revealed that the big and mighty bad wolf. Much of the problems are to do with another abnormality. While the solution with that was simple. Not to let that abnormality into the facility. Speaking of letting somebody in the facility, a little fruit of understandings. At this point, with all the weapons the agents have now, on day 23 I mean, this was now, by this point, pest control. Extremely dangerous pest control, yeah, but it was still pest control now. Well, there was a reason why the pay sounded ridiculous. Ridiculously high. It was because it was hazard pay. The pay reflected the risk. Perfect for those who wanted to gamble with their lives. Oh yeah, and the first ordeal of the day was dealt with. So it was time to work on the abnormalities once more. I had buried it enough to reveal the escape information of the wolf. As for the doll, her name was Letitia. The suit wasn't that bad. The same could be said for the 2 rifles that could be made from the research. And they weren't that expensive with PE boxes. Well, if I had to choose between the 2, I'd work more on Letitia. Well, you know how it went, as... Well, I'll get to that point. Okay. 1 claw and 1 suit, which had a lot of good protection. Thankfully, there wasn't any pale damaging abnormalities. Not yet, anyway. Because if there was, most of the agents, they'd be in deep trouble. Because all of them, well, almost all of them, had suits that made pale damage worse rather than protected against it. It was at this point I decided to prepare for the Green Noon ordeal, which I knew by then would involve tougher robots. It also resulted in, well, Army in Black breaking out as a load of clerks would be killed in the process. Yeah, irritating, but if there was a way of protecting the clerks without the agents dying, I hadn't thought about how to do that yet. Yeah, process of understanding. There was one much too close to the information department, the main room of it. So I decided to do my favorite tactic with that. The one involving erasing a certain real-time strategy game. Yeah, I prefer to go over it quickly. As they cause a little too much damage up close. Okay. It looked like the others in the facility were in the Central Command Department. And at this point, Army in Black broke out. Yeah. They... Unlike many abnormalities, they didn't attack solo. And it would appear that Army in Black they were heading towards the main rooms. Well, each of the members of the Army in Black, and I found out that if they were to reach their destination, a random abnormality would have its Quefoff counterlured by one. This resulted in... this resulted in the Meat Lantern breaking out. So after the Army in Black was dealt with, and as soon as I could find the Meat Lantern, actually, Army in Black first, robots next, Meat Lantern, well, since it was a little out of the way, I decided it could wait. It wasn't in the middle of a kilo cow. And I found out that the other member exploded and didn't do as much damage. No collateral damage in the training department. Although I decided that it'd be best to work on the punishing bird so that Paulinus could work on the express train to hell. Preferably before the train arrived. Yeah. And I also decided it'd be best if the Child of Galaxy was worked on, as there was a meltdown there. Well, the Grivov counter was at 0, so it was time to have someone work on that one. And at that point, I decided to work on taking care of the other robots. Now that the other distractions were either dealt with or out of the way. With that ordeal dealt with, I found out that there was a green dusk ordeal coming. But before that, I had a meat lantern to deal with. So I sent all except Paulinus to gun it down. Yeah, a lot more guns lately. Because at this point, you can't have too many. Only too little. Especially when dealing with the meat lantern. Yeah. There's gonna be a couple more guns. Before this day is done. Well, there was certainly one made. Yeah. This was a trial and a half. And it wasn't over yet. As I had still to make all of the equipment that could be made.